What we have learned more than anything else is how much you loved and how much you are loved.
I'm very excited. We're going to use this 40th celebration to launch Speak the Word Audio, or at least launch Papa's book in Speak the Word Audio. And Speak the Word Audio is an audio company that I've started, and it is a company for writings of faith, Christian books, Christian being novels or things. We started, in fact, our very first book that we've recorded is from my bishop, Bishop Dag Hewitt-Mills, who is one of... Which one did you do? We started off, we're doing in conjunction actually about 3 books. Read Your Bible, Pray Every Day, Loyalty and Disloyalty. We have a few. Daughter, You Can Make It, which I read myself. So I'm very excited. In this 40th anniversary, a lot of people don't know that Papa was a lay preacher.
Yes.
And in fact, some of my earliest childhood memories in Oxford was of going to church at Wesley Mem, which is actually the church where Mama and Papa were married. It was a Methodist church, and Papa used to preach there.
An all-African wedding was recently solemnized at the Wesley Memorial Methodist Church, Oxford.
I actually remember him preaching a one called Am I My Brother's Keeper?
Yes.
Which, you know, years later I wrote a poem about.
We are on this 40th recording with some very interesting voices. People will be quite excited when they hear the people that are going to be reading. But we're recording with some very interesting voices. The Prof, a man of faith, and it's writings, sermons that Papa has written, pieces that he's written about Christianity and faith. And Christianity juxtaposed and married with our own traditions as Ghanaians, which is an area that a lot of people shy away from. And some of his sermons, some of his sayings, some of his letters of faith, especially in encouraging Mama and other people. And of course we have letters, how many years worth with Daddy Whittle?
50.
50 years it's been. Because Daddy Whittle was the missionary that came to Wenchi, and in fact at the time of his marriage, Papa was 9 years old, and Daddy Whittle came with his new bride and was sent to Wenchi. He's from a British missionary, and was sent to Wenchi, and Papa was then kept away from school because they didn't want him to be caned because he was a royal. And Daddy Whittle's wife managed to persuade Papa's uncle, the Omahini, to allow Papa to come to school with a promise that he would not be caned. And he went to school, and that's when actually, around that time from then, he heard about Oxford and said, I will go to this, your Oxford, and became certainly the first Ghanaian and the second black man in history, wasn't it, to go to, he went to university.
To go to
University College, Oxford. Anyway, we are recording the Prof, a man of faith, and launching it around this 40th year of his passing with Speak the Word Audio, so that people can hear, as well as the Prof documentary that was done that was more his politics and his personal life and had some faith, but this will be his writings of faith. So I'm very excited about that.
There were so many aspects to his life, so many aspects to his life. And I think that's what we really want people to remember. The education and his passion for education, his faith, his politics, his friendships, the people who walked with him all his life, and so on.
And we want to say thank you to Mama, who has passed, but kept his memory alive for years and years after his passing through military regimes, favorable or unfavorable regimes. She founded the Busia Foundation International, and throughout we have collected his papers, his letters, footage, and
it was her passion and her effort, and without her insistence Actually, I think all the celebrations that have been done for Papa until now have been done under the auspices of the Busia Foundation. And Mama was very determined about making sure that Papa's memory kept alive.
He prays a lot. His strength comes from prayer. Always thinking about the other person's problems. And now we can relieve their problems for them. And very brave too. Because he's small, I don't think a lot of people attributed bravery with him. But he was very brave.
We were amazed to find in Mama's cupboard that she had kept every single letter Papa had ever written her over the 30 years. Letters from all over the world. All over Europe, Austria, Luxembourg, Germany, Paris, all over different parts of Africa, from Kenya and Uganda to Côte d'Ivoire and Senegal. What a life! But I asked for it. What sometimes bothers me is what I cause you to bear in consequence. I pray that victory and some good may come with all of this to compensate for all your sacrifices and burdens. I pray you may be given strength of mind and body and spirit from above. It is my faith, justified repeatedly by events, that when God sets us tasks, He gives us all we need to fulfill them. So there is a lot for which we can be glad and thankful.
And they're together now. My mother was a great hymn singer. She always sang hymns, and she's with the Prof who preached.
And loved hymns. He kept faith. A faith best summarized perhaps in the words of another letter which we discovered some years ago had been preserved by the cousin to whom he wrote in 1939.
I have always felt it a duty laid upon me by God to pursue knowledge.
And I am both glad and grateful to have achieved something
of which my countrymen may be proud.
The best is yet to be.
My great purpose is to study all I can, and then when the time comes to pour out my life in the service of my God and my country.
Learning without God is empty.
Knowledge is useless unless it makes us better servants of humanity, unless it makes us the servants of God.
And it is the love of God that made him the servant of humanity that he became.